Hi, hunters. Thank you for tuning into the Flusham and Dustin podcast, brought to you by Nick and Tyler, the boys from Ring Next Retrievers. In this podcast, we will talk about guns, dogs, gear, and our successes and failures in the field through our combined 40 years of experience. We speak with hunters just like you from across the nation about their days in the field and the many memories they built with their friends and family. We are excited to have you listen. Now let's get to Flushing and Dustin. Welcome back to another Flushing and Dustin happy hour. It's been a while. Tyler and I took a little break during hunting season, so we have some great guests here today. Probably some of the best bird hunters in Iowa, if I do say so myself. And we're gonna I know, right? We're gonna get after it. We're gonna talk about season today, how the 2021 end of 2022 season went here, and we're gonna start off, and we're gonna start with Tim Brown. Give us the lowdown on your season.
What's going
How'd
on,
you
everybody?
think it was? Give us a little background on you for those that don't know who you are.
I live up in northwest Iowa. I've been bird hunting. I'm 42. It's been good 35 years of my life. I've been walking around with my folks and my brothers and such. And I moved up to northwest corner of the state just to be able to hunt birds. And it's really the sole reason I moved up here.
Yeah, there ain't shit to do up there, is there? Besides that?
Fuck no, there ain't nothing to do up here but hunt, man. So yeah, it was a good season. I mean, it was comparable to last year, I think. And last year we had a really good year. A lot of the guys that I hunt with didn't hunt with as much. They were too busy going to the Iowa games and stuff like that. So I was solo quite often. And it was a really good year. Like I ended it with 68 birds. And
nice.
I don't know, as a group, I think we got right around 200 or so.
Whew.
But it's down. That was down from last year. But after, like I was telling you guys earlier, I saw 15 birds today on the side of the road, and you can drive around and still see a ton of birds. So we're not hurting by any means.
And you guys, it's crazy. You're like the only spot in Iowa we're just talking that doesn't have snow.
Yeah, we don't have any snow.
That's absolutely crazy.
And what was it today? Like 58 degrees in Des Moines or 60 degrees? Where were you guys at? We were at 58 today.
I think we only got up to like 40 here.
Yeah, we were 40.
So we were a little cooler.
43.
Just nuts, man. Absolutely nuts.
That is crazy.
What do you do?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this year, I got to ask you, this year you switched Upland vest.
Yes.
Towards the end of the season. Can you give us a rundown what you were running before and then a rundown of that vest that you switched to? Just so
I don't know if you count hanging them off your beard a vest, but
yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, I switched from a LL Bean vest to a Chief Upland vest, and the LL Bean, there was nothing wrong with it by any means. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the shell pockets on the side. They were kind of hard to get in and out of. It was just a little more difficult. The Chief Upland blew my expectations out of the water. Once I figured how to loosen up the game pouch on my fat belly, it was different, but I got that figured out, and it was flawless. And the best part was later on in the season when it did get kind of cold, you could put your hot hands, because it's a front loading vest. So you could put your hot hands right in that pocket and keep your hands in there like a pocket. And it was perfect.
That's nice.
Yeah. And you can customize the dang thing however you want. Whatever
it's a
kind
strap
of
vest? A strap vest or not?
Yeah, it's a strap vest. Yep. Okay. Yep. And but it's got I don't know what they call the military type.
Molly.
It's got the Amali attachments, and they've got a waterproof shell pouch, and they've got a quick shell pouch that's magnets. And the magnet one was, it was stellar. You don't have any shells.
Their pouches, I have those on my vests that I use, and their pouches are just phenomenal. I love them. And they got that waterproof electronic one too for your phone, which I like because I do carry my phone on me in the field for, you never know if you have an emergency or something, and keeping that dry. And it's been through rain and whatnot, and it's 100% dry inside there. So
yeah.
They're very nice pouches.
Yeah, it's a very nice vest. I'm really impressed with it. And
awesome.
He's gonna actually come on our podcast here in the coming weeks and chat with us on that about that vest and about what he's got going on. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to check out for anybody looking.
How about is there any Velcro on it? Because I hate how the Velcro collects all the
No.
seeds and all that type of stuff.
There is. So like on those shell pouches, there's two. He's got like Velcro patches to where you can put, it's got like 3 shells on it. I took them off because I was going through some nasty stuff and they were starting to pull off. So I was just like, I don't need them damn things on there anyway. That's just an excuse to lose 3 shells, in my opinion. But he did it for so you could put like a Velcro patch on there if you wanted some kind of Velcro patch for military guys, stuff like that. Just stuff like that. But
that makes
so I just took them off. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it fits amazing. I mean, it actually forms around your waist more than that LL Bean one did too. I don't know. I really like it. I mean, it's pretty impressive vest.
Nice. It's awesome.
This in and of itself would be a good topic. Weren't you guys at one point? You guys were talking about equipment, doing an equipment review podcast, weren't you, Nick and Tyler?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll definitely do one of those on a power hour.
Yeah. Just getting back into her, Nate. Life gets a little busy with those kids,
Yeah.
So, John, this is your first time being on the Flushing and Dustin Power Hour.
Whoa!
Welcome.
Yeah,
We're
thank
happy
you.
to have you here. So, give everybody a rundown. Give us some background. Want to learn about you?
Yeah, I actually jumped in at the end of one of the earliest ones you guys did. I didn't really get a chance to talk very much. That was a while ago.
Nick was probably talking.
What's up?
Nick was probably talking the whole time.
I don't know. You guys were on some topic. It was a while ago. Since then, I've actually moved back to my hometown, which is, I believe, the same hometown as Nick's.
Yeah, old Gutenberg.
Yeah.
God's country.
Yeah, beautiful country. A little.
Don't know where it is? Go in the Bible. I'll show you.
Yeah, and I hear you guys talking about rooster numbers. I was just looking at Nate's statistic post for the year and listening to Tim talk, and 56 dead birds, Tim, and I'm like, I felt good about like 20 this year. I think was about what I got up to. Not as many birds in the northeast corner, and just I don't know if I got a field nearly as much, but and I've never been introduced as one of the best bird hunters in the state before. That's definitely not quite
Well,
true.
I mean, I like to introduce myself as that, whether am or not,
Sure. But yeah, kind of got into this, got a puppy during COVID, didn't exactly know what I was up to, and just kind of got addicted from there. She ended up having a pretty good nose, and she's bird crazy, and just kind of took it from there. And
what kind of dog?
Well, I have the most controversial dog in the game. I call her a mutt, but she's supposed to be like a silver lab. She's not a silver lab. She's a mutt. I'd say she's probably about half Weimaraner. She'll point birds for me, but she's a good dog.
That.
We'll see if she has the health issues that everybody talks about. Would never get one again, but she's been great so far. So
nice. As long as she does what you want to do, that's all you can ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this obviously the first year out in the field with her?
Second season, actually.
Second season.
Started hunting her, and she was like 7-8 months. Kind of got into it then, and we had her first bird before she was a year old. Got her first rooster last year. So
Omicron, sorry.
Nice. That's awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited I'm really just here to listen and kind of hear how you guys did. I'm excited to kind of hear all the stories from what I'd consider some of the best bird hunters in the state. So
yeah, we appreciate that.
Well, I don't know if you know.
Oh God, are we
Tim.
going to talk about missing? Oh no. All right.
Oh, whoa, Tyler, come on.
That's not even what I was going to bring up. I was keeping it on the right path here.
All right.
Since I don't know if you know Tim or you follow him at all, but it sounds like you follow Nate. And man, Nate's probably one of the most extensive bird hunters I've ever ran into and known, just by talking cover and the mileage that he puts on. So you can learn quite a bit from these two gentlemen here if you talk to them.
Yeah, I just found Tim on Instagram.
Yeah, the bearded Uplander.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
matches
follow
his name.
follow Nate too, because he's got a lot of good information. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And John, if you hang around until the close of this call, they'll send out patches that claim you as one of the best bird hunters in the state. Just wait 6-7 days after close, you'll get it in the mail.
I'll have to forward that on to somebody else because
But you have to have a Velcro patch to put it on your vest.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Nate, I was just I saw you posted your miles for the year.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I haven't looked at the numbers, but how do they compare to your previous years, and how's this year looking?
Mileage, it's got to be down. I did 10 fewer trips this year. I didn't get Omicron, but I got Delta, and
Oh.
sidelined me for I hunted. I didn't know I had COVID, and I hunted that day. I had 3 kids with me, and then I benefited from the CDC reducing the quarantine time from 10 to 5 days. So I think I just missed 2 hunts out of that deal. But for whatever reason, I don't know if we were short a week or short some days in the season, just based on where that opening Saturday fell. But I had fewer trips this year. So total bird numbers bagged was definitely fewer based on trips, but also lots of kids, lots of kids in the truck. One kid, it took him 30 shots before he got that bird. So 29 misses before.
Jesus.
So,
God, did you have Tyler in the field yet?
I was gonna say, was his name Tyler?
Yeah. I did have, but no, it was a good season. I think we can talk bird numbers for sure. When I made my way northwest, not nearly up northwest by you, Tim, but just like Fort Dodge-ish area, generally in that area, I found bird numbers comparable, if not better than last year. To my surprise, when I went west, and I'm in Des Moines area, for those that don't know, when I went west, and especially when I went west and south, numbers were down for sure. For sure they were down. And I was shocked because I left fields with in 20-30 acre fields with 20 to 30 hens late last season. So something happened to thin them out. And we did have some big storms, post close of season.
So I
year.
talked with one of my buddies who's he's a big bird hunter as well. And he thinks that it's an aftermath of derecho, because he has a lot of spots where he shoots a ton of birds. I think the opening day they had 10-man limit, so and they're all wild. And he said that wasn't happening in a few of their spots that were derecho ran through.
Yeah,
They were surprised.
Could be something was up for sure. Some of the haying. If some of the owners could have hayed early, disrupting nesting, maybe we didn't get a good production for first year birds. But a lot of the birds, majority of birds I did shoot were first year birds this year, which is a good sign, right? It means we had some population out there.
Yeah, same here. Same here. A lot of young birds.
Yep. And there was definitely re-nesting, because same fields with very evident multiple nestings. So that was a good sign. But I had some fields northwest just phenomenal. I mean, hundreds of birds in a field. And then I had others that just maybe not blanks, but were way underpopulated. So it was kind of hit or miss based on where I went, for sure.
Do you think oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those the fields that last year that you had success in, but maybe not this year, was the crop surrounding them any different? Was there anything of that nature that was different, or basically the same?
I mean, most of them rotated, obviously, from bean to corn, whatever they had in, for sure. But I didn't see any correlation there. No. I tend to find for sure more birds on a corn edge than on a bean edge, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it was pretty geographical for me. I mean, if I had a bunch of kids in the truck, and I wanted to give them chances to shoot at 30 roosters, right, to get that rooster, I went northwest for sure.
Nice.
And I'm sure, Tim, even the numbers you've experienced were even better yet.
Over by like you said, Fort Dodge, Mason City area, and Storm Lake, the numbers were just unreal.
Yeah. I've had friends say North Central, so yeah, that area as well. A little bit further east than normally where I hunt was also really, really good.
A lot of
So,
Huns up there too.
yeah, I
Up
did run
Archer.
into my first, actually in Perry, Iowa. I ran into my first set of Huns down in this area for a lot of years, a decade plus. Didn't get a trigger pull on them, but it was just good to see them.
Yep.
I ended up shooting a woodcock this year, actually, with Matt and Tyler.
I saw that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Quail definitely down. Every covey I saw was under 8, so I don't pull the trigger
I didn't even see a covey
unless I
this
see a
year.
ninth. I think I saw 3 coveys, maybe was it. And when I went south, I only found 1. So just numbers were definitely down out there. But a good trip. I took 56 folks out and got 54 of them a bird. Many of them their first bird. So and sometimes it took, usually it took a lot of shots. 30 is on the high side, right?
You just
But
driving a bus around now, Nate, with all these people, or what?
hey, I can fit 3 kids in the back, and usually typically have a friend, as a safety guy it might be a dad or somebody else. But most trips I had at least a kid. I only did 1 solo trip, and that's because I went out on COVID this entire season. All other trips, I had a kid. I'd say 22 or 26 trips. I probably had at least
Wow.
1 kid in the truck. So trying to get him a bird. So
Very nice.
it was
Pretty
fun.
awesome. Looks like your own kids are doing really well this year too.
Yep,
Starting
my
to pick it
2.
up.
Yep. For those that don't know, I have 3 kids, boy, girl, boy, 17, 14, and 11. And my 2 younger, my 17-year-old, right? We're starting to, bash heads a little bit, right? As for those of you that don't know, it's coming, right? If you got kids. But
Oh,
so
mine's happening right now.
yeah, that's right.
Cannot get
So-
my daughter to sleep at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, there's phases for sure. But so he did not make it out with me, but my 14-year-old daughter did, and she shot a bird, and she's an independent hunter now. I can go out and she can take one of my dogs. I can take the other, and we can divide and kind of push birds to each other. She's effective, very effective. And then my 11-year-old, for the first time this season, he carried a gun for the entirety of this season. Close of last year, we tried it. It was a little early. He's on the smaller side. And he shot a bird opening youth, doubled. And then he cleaned up a single, and then I think he doubled on another and shot 3 for the season. And 11-year-old shot 3 birds, and I think he did 4 trips. That's pretty good.
Nice.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And then a
Well,
bunch of other kids that had a good time. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome getting that many kids and getting them their first birds and giving them those experiences. And the good thing you're seeing birds with them after taking that many, right? Because that could
Yeah.
be pretty degrading, missing that many. But then you finally get that one.
that's right.
Yes.
They're hooked.
So,
Yeah.
that's right. So it's
I've
about,
got a photo. You mentioned following me on Instagram, but there's a photo out there, and the kid is holding the bird, and he's screaming, and I captured that on video, and I made a still of it. It's one of my favorite photos.
Yeah.
Thousands of photos this season, but the kid finally got his first bird. He was so excited. It was awesome.
That's freaking cool. So, well, Matt has joined us you just missed it. We were
Yes.
talking about God's country, and we got another guy from God's country up there.
Again, map. Yeah, you want to know where it's at? It's in the Bible. Look it up.
Absolutely.
So Matt, give us a rundown of how your season went.
Season was good. Felt like I didn't get as many days out as I normally do. I don't know.
I mean, and why would that be? You've got a full-time job and you're high school football head coach. I mean,
right?
does that have anything to do with it?
Maybe.
And 2 kids.
Maybe. But I think mainly was a lot of up here in Northeast Iowa, in God's country. Everybody wants me to stay out of there until the rut is over, and so I gotta stay. I gotta respect the landowner, and it just seemed like that happened a little bit more than maybe last year. And also the corn around here, the corn stayed in longer, which is kind of abnormal with the weather that we had. Thought the farmer should have been able to get it out a little bit sooner, but I'm also not a farmer. So but overall, we, last year, I think we harvested 59 birds over the dog, and this year I'm at 56. So
It's not bad.
no, so about the same. So I'd say numbers wise, we're about the same. And last year we got a lot of new ground that we hunted. So this year was kind of back at it and thought we knew how to hunt it and taking guesses at stuff and maybe where birds were that weren't, and also got more ground again. So a lot of exploring, but it was good. It was a good year, fun year. Dog did really good. Got some goals for myself for next year. One being, so my dog is a phenomenal dog at finding birds. Tell me where their birds are, whether he's pointing or flushing birds, and he'll find wounded birds all day long, but he will not retrieve. So, whether force fetch is in the future or other options for that. So dog needs to retrieve. And two, I've never had any luck, just me and him. I always go out with a buddy. So it's usually two of us in the field. I mean, I've been out by myself with the dog, but I've never shot one over the dog. So retrieve and then shoot one, just me and the dog out by ourselves, wherever it is. So those are 2 goals for next year.
Nice. Those are pretty
yeah.
solid goals. And you joined us out in South Dakota for our trip,
Yes.
Yep.
which was a good time.
Yeah.
We were happy to have you with us.
Yeah. A lot of fun. I jumped in when we were talking about bird numbers, and I have one of my best friends lives out in Forest City, Iowa. I passed, just didn't work out. We usually go late season out to his place to hunt. He hooks us up with phenomenal land, and it didn't work out this year. So that was kind of a bummer. And then obviously, so as I jumped in here and everybody's talking North Central Iowa was a hot spot or good bird numbers. So I missed out on that. But I will say, Nick and Tyler, I'm sure you guys talked about it, but my in-laws live around Denver, Iowa. And I went out this past Saturday morning by myself, and I seen close to 60 birds in one public field. So I'd have to say that a little bit farther west than where I live, that Waverly area, great numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we
dang, next year there's just going to be a bunch of trucks with toppers driving around there.
We,
searching for stuff.
we ended up in that area because Matt, obviously I live in Des Moines, Tyler lives in Cedar Rapids area, and Matt up in God's country. We all end up meeting around Waverly. That's about midway point, just to hunt together. And we were driving past a farmer's land, and I said, oh shit, I'm just gonna go in and see what he says. And walk up to him. He's like, I don't let anybody hunt. And I was like, all right. And I just started kind of bullshitting with him a little bit. And he's like, you didn't get mad that I told you no? You seem pretty nice. I'm like, I'm in sales, man. I get told no every day.
Andy's married. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get told no a lot. And he's like, all right, you can go hunt that field. So I was like, all right. So we went and hunted it. Saw, it was like 20 hens, probably. No, maybe one rooster. We didn't know what that one bird was.
Yeah.
We
sat there for
3
hours and waited for him.
Well, I'm not done.
After that.
So then after that, I went back because he said, "Let me know what you get out of there." Went back after we ran this waterway, and I said, "We didn't get anything." He said, "You got good hen numbers there." I said, "So should produce some roosters here, I would think, in the near future." And he goes, "Well, you haven't even asked me about my other spot." I said, "Well, I didn't know you had another spot." And so he's like, well, if you give us like 2 hours or so, I'm going to be combining it. And then I got a private 40 back behind everything. So we go and sit in the field and we're waiting. Oh my God. 100 birds probably get out of there. Not even exaggeration. Fucking going everywhere. And then we went and waited for him to get completely done. And then we went and hunted the field and we limited out in, me, Matt, and Tyler all had our limit in like 40 minutes. Something like that. And we went back, got him beer, took it back to his house, drank with him for like an hour and a half. And he said that he respected the fact that we wanted to hunt the birds and work our dogs and take a chance of not getting the birds versus a lot of the people that he used to let hunt, and he doesn't so much anymore. So we're almost the only ones that he lets hunt now. They would just ride in the combine or they'd sit at the end of the rows and just shoot them as they came out. And he said, I always thought that was just such bullshit.
Yeah.
So to do it the right way made us feel good, and now we have rights for hopefully many years. And then he has another spot that we never even touched because every time we went to this spot, Tyler and I went back. Matt couldn't join us, and we were done in. That was everybody saw my post and was thinking we went to a bird farm, but it was literally this guy's land, and we were done in 50 minutes.
Yeah, that was.
And I was planning to be away from home the whole day too. Damn it!
There had to be a bar open at that time.
Yeah,
We actually did go get breakfast.
We got Bloody Marys after that.
Yeah, had breakfast, and I don't even remember what the name of the little town bar was. Can't tell you because it's too close to the field.
Close.
You did send it to me in a Snapchat, but I won't say.
Yeah.
Damn it, Nick.
We did.
That is true, Nick. I did see that.
Well, most of the guys on my Snapchat don't bird hunt. I guess Tim, I forgot about you.
That's a long way. That's a long way for me to drive to go get 3 pheasants.
Yeah.
And then I'll just continue. I hunt with my sister's boyfriend, and he has a lot of range and private ground we get. But we were at this one field twice this year, and my God, so we hunted this past weekend the last weekend at it, and I'm not even joking. If we saw 150 birds, that's not even a lie. Yeah. Matt and Tyler have hunted it before. It was just, and so it's only been hunted like 4 times, but man, the birds were so spooky. They're so smart. We only took one off there, but we only hunted it for about 45 minutes because then we were meeting up with Tyler. But man, it's incredible. He has so many birds there, and it's about an 80-acre plot. It's just amazing. And then Sunday, the last day that I got to hunt, I went with my other buddy who I said that I posted a picture of him, Jason Mooney, and we got some private ground that hasn't been hunted all year because the guy's such a big deer hunter, and we were the only ones to bird hunt it. And I think it was 35 minutes. We were done because they were sitting that tight and they didn't know what was going on. And we actually thought we only had 5 birds. And the landowner came out and he goes, "Let me see him quick." He goes, "I heard all this shooting." So we took him out and we ended up having 6. And we don't even know how we got the 6th one. It happened. Everything was happening so fast.
Good thing you didn't shoot another one. Good thing.
Yeah.
Well,
He's an athlete.
he said if we would have, he said, "That's fine because I'm here." I would have just said, "Oh yeah, it was for me." So yeah, it was crazy.
That's
Numbers awesome. For me, it was one of the best years I've ever had hunting. And then I did what, like Matt said, I never normally get out usually too much by myself with just me and Diesel, and I did that a couple times this year, and God, we had some good luck. It seemed like him just getting to be an older dog. I feel like when there's other dogs around, he's competitive and maybe overlooks some things, but when him and I were hunting, just him and I, slowed way down. And actually the one day I would have limited out, but I fell in a hole and sprained my ankle. So it's about 300 yards from the truck. So I had to almost crawl back to my truck after that.
I swear you sprain your ankle every year.
Oh God, it fucking hurt too. I was yelling. I was like, "Oh man." And I looked up. I'm like, "Oh God, I got to go all the way back up there." It's a bad deal.
I don't want to jinx us, but this weather that we had today is crazy. Tim, do you even have snow?
No snow up here. It was 56 or 58 degrees today.
One of my best friends lives in Sioux Falls, and I texted him. I said, "Do you even have snow on the ground?" That was Sunday morning or Saturday or Monday morning, and he said no snow. I'm like, holy balls, that's not normal.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And after tomorrow here in Northeast Iowa, up by Guttenberg, we might. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of snow gone if it gets back up to the close to 40. And
yeah, I looked at the Weather Channel when we were just getting on here, and we're only supposed to get 2 to 3 inches. It said
on Friday or tomorrow.
To Friday, I do believe tomorrow night and Friday.
Nice.
We'll take. Actually, we need so much moisture. It's not even funny up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I agree.
Like we hunted Monday morning, and the sending conditions were so bad that the dogs were birdie, but they weren't sure about it, and the birds were coming up all around us, the dogs. It was just sending conditions were just terrible. No dew, no nothing. No frost at all.
Right.
It was crazy.
Well, Chris, this is your first time on the Power Hour, so we got a couple new guys on tonight, which is pretty awesome.
Welcome, Chris. Welcome, welcome.
Definitely appreciate you coming on and hanging out. And your Instagram is Uncle Duffer's Doggy Boot Camp. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You're gonna have to give us a rundown of that.
That's my nickname, Duffer.
Duffer.
And Duffer has nothing to do with golf, which is nothing but a good walk ruined, right? It's just my nickname, and I end up training my family's dogs and other people's dogs. So when they send them to me to be here for vacation while they go on vacation, somehow someone called it Uncle Duffer's Doggy Boot Camp, and that was years ago, and it's
where do you live at?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I was gonna say, now that you're on here, we're basically family, so just drop my dog off too.
Are all you guys from Iowa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight we are. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I live in the eastern part of Pennsylvania. If you're familiar with the state, it would be similar to your Muscatine, let's say. If you know it. So I'm over near the border. I can smell New Jersey from here. Okay. So, and our state is similar in width to yours, little narrower top to bottom. So
nice.
Are you originally from Iowa? Obviously, you name drop Muscatine. So are you originally from this area?
No, I've been in Pennsylvania all my life. I tell people they're going to put me in the ground here. So, and I'm okay with that. We got a great outdoor heritage here. Lots of hunting, fishing, hiking. The Appalachian Trail is about 20 minutes from my house here.
Oh, nice.
I've done, I think, 5 states of that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get out and do anything you want here in the state. So
is Pennsylvania one of the states you can't hunt Sundays?
Yes, but that they've started to open up, and it's just a matter of time. There are some Sundays that they started in the last, I want to say 3 years. They've like the first weekend of rifle. Okay. Huge deer state, deer heritage here for hundreds of years. Always opened on the Monday after Thanksgiving. In fact, all the public schools in Pennsylvania were always closed on Monday. Thanksgiving.
That's crazy.
Kids wouldn't come to school. And they started in the last, I want to say, like the 3 years, started doing some Sunday hunting, started with a deer season. They've opened bear on a Sunday and a couple of Sundays for pheasant too. So the bad thing about our state compared to your beautiful state is we don't have any wild pheasants anymore. None.
Dang.
I mean, it's been 25 years since I've seen a wild pheasant. You know,
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. So fight with everything you have to keep that habitat the way it is. So that
amen to that.
So do you guys have public lands out in Pennsylvania?
Oh, we got tons of public acreage, more than you guys, even though we're a smaller state. There's probably 3 million acres within the state that is open to hunt. And that is a combination of Pennsylvania game lands, state parks, state forests, walk-in hunting like you guys have, the IHAPs. Tons of opportunities, but it's completely different terrain than what Iowa is. My uncle has property up in the northern tier, would be similar to your Hancock. And his property borders a 19,000 acre single plot of land that's public, but it's all timber. I mean, there's a couple of open fields, but nothing, you know. So that's a significant difference. Well, and we're a little hillier than you guys, but we don't have the pheasant habitat. The clean farming has done it. The predators. I mean, you got hawks, eagles all over the place. Fox, coyote. I mean, they just decimate the pheasant. And the pheasants are the ones they do put out. We do have pheasant season, but they're pen raised birds, and they release them on the public lands. And they don't do it, you know, under the cloak of darkness or secrecy. So guys are out there the same day blasting away. So
yeah.
You know, speaking of pen raised birds, I just find it always fascinates me that during season, I'll see these guys in Iowa when numbers have been good, and they're hunting at a fucking pheasant farm.
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
I was in Fleet Farm I don't know. I think I was getting shells for my AR before we went to South Dakota, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm buying all these boxes because we're gonna shoot all these birds." And like, I'm like, that just. I mean, I've done them before, but I do them after season or before season to get my dog kind of tuned up, just to put them on birds. I actually don't even enjoy in doing it, but I just can't believe that people would actually do that during
I do that
Iowa
with
season.
I do that with chuckers either before the season starts, like you said, or after the season starts. There's no challenge to it. Let's face it. I mean, I'm using a 20 gauge with 8-shot.
Yeah, because they're getting up so close.
Yeah, and they're
They're
not.
basically chickens.
Yeah, it tastes great though.
Yeah, they would.
They do taste great.
Yeah. So, and the pheasant that they put out aren't much different. You know, every bird I clean, I always look in the crop to see what they've been eating, and 3/4 of them don't have anything in them.
Empty.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
Can you shoot hens then too?
yeah,
Or-
you can
yeah.
either or. Now, back when we had, it was roosters only, 2 a day.
How long ago was that? Do you remember?
Is that an age joke?
Well, you said it was like 25 years ago. So,
We had it,
so I was like,
you're right. So yeah, you're about 25. I would say 25 years ago was roosters only, 2 a day. And then they started establishing a boundary, which was about Route 80, same Route 80 that goes through Iowa, but when it goes through Pennsylvania, it's a lot higher than it is in your state. Above Route 80, I think you could shoot either or. And then they got to the point where there weren't any wild birds anymore. So the ones they were putting out, you could shoot either or.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
Oh, that's changed.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's, in the same respect, we've got turkeys coming out of our ears. They've essentially replaced the pheasants. 25 years ago, it was unique to see a turkey. Now you see turkey all over the place. So
What an evolution.
yeah.
What about rough grouse? You got some of them?
Great question. We used to have tons of rough grouse. That piece of property my uncle has up in Bradford County, it wouldn't be uncommon to flush 20 or 25 birds in one day.
Ooh.
Okay. So it was great because I was a rabid duck hunter at the time. And then when duck season would close in December, when we had the short season, first weekend of the new year, we would head up there and my lab Chesapeake would be out chasing grouse with me. And it would take 2 or 3 flushes till he figured out what we were doing again. It's like, oh, different game, no more ducks. Okay, I know what to do. But it didn't matter because you were going to flush 20 or 25.
Right.
So, I think what knocked them out was, according to what the Game Commission is saying, is West Nile virus. So it's unusual for me to flush 5 a season when I'm up at my uncle's place, maybe bow hunting or walking through the woods or whatever. So, I mean, it's quite different than what it used to be.
Yeah. Are you by chance like a geography teacher or something? Just like it's funny that like it's how you said Hancock, County, Iowa, or like Muscatine.
Must spend a lot of time in Iowa. That's for sure.
Well, I've only been there twice. Last year, let's say 2020 was my first year, and 2021 I was out there again this past year.
Were you the feller that commented on some of the public ground that Tyler and I went to?
Maybe.
And called it out.
Oh, I knew I recognized the name. So you weren't too far from where
you've been here 2 times, and you called that spot.
It's a
hell.
It's a
Wow, I mean,
you got to be a geography teacher. You're definitely a geography teacher.
Actually, no, I'm not a geography teacher. I do like geography. I could probably name all 50 states. Couldn't name the capitals, but I could name the states. I'm actually a recovering engineer turned sales guy.
Nice.
What are you
Very
selling?
cool.
Maybe I'm buying.
Pneumatic components, processes, and controls that go into automation.
Yeah, let me check. Nope, don't need any of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, hey, I love coming to your state, man. I'll be back again this fall for sure.
Yeah.
Iowa Bird Chaser and I got together for a couple of days out there. We had a good time.
Very cool.
Yep.
You travel.
He's out in South Dakota right now.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I typed him, bastard.
Yeah, you got to travel a long ways for good bird hunting then.
Yeah, I've been looking at some other states in between. I know, like, I drive through Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, and then I get to your place. And I know some of those other states, I think they still have some wild populations. But
I don't
know.
know how good Illinois is from what I've seen from people.
I think Southern Illinois isn't horrible. But
yeah.
I don't want to be that guy, but I hate going to that state in general, so I just stay out of it. I have to go there for work every other week, so I hate it as much as that. And I only have to go right across the river.
The thing I worried about when I drove through it was, of course, firearm transportation.
Yeah,
I'm
strict on that.
I don't know if you have concealed carry permit. I do. Ironically enough, you're allowed to drive through Illinois while carrying, as long as you don't get out of the vehicle.
Yep.
Which I thought was very unique. A lot of states you're not allowed, like the People's Republic of New Jersey here, you are not allowed to take anything in there, even hollow point bullets. They'll lock you up for.
Well, unless you're a criminal, and then it's good. Then you're all right.
Have at it, guys. Yeah, sure.
They get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. So
nice.
But yeah, great deer hunting here. Lots of good fishing.
Yeah.
It is a 14-hour trip from my end of the state to your eastern end of your state or thereabouts, 14 or so.
So that's a haul.
Yeah. I did it in one day. It wasn't too bad. So the dog slept most of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an impressive road trip in one day, 14 hours.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I think the last trip I was out there this past season, I think I logged like 2,750 miles total from the time I got into your state. And then, we hunted all the way up to Emmitsburg out that way. Somebody mentioned Forest City. I was staying in Forest City last year.
I think you know more states or know more towns in Iowa than I do. I lived here my whole life. Jesus.
And you know what, Nick? You approach, being in sales, you approach that guy the right way. I don't know about you guys, but I got made up little business cards with my name, my email address, and I think it says conservationist, outdoorsman or something like that. And it's got a picture of my dog Hans while on point. And I wrote the guy a note because I did the same thing. He wasn't there. I wrote him a note and I stuck it in the door. Called me back. He says, I don't really have any property. How many guys you got? I says, it's just me and the dog. Oh, well, you can hunt my property then. So, and nice guy. I sent him a fluorescent orange Midway hat at the end of after the season last year and stuff like that. So, I mean, who cares if they say no?
Yeah. Happens.
That's the worst thing they can say.
Yeah.
But man, when they do say yes, it goes a long ways. Give them some type of gift, just treating them right.
I love coming to your state, guys. It's but like I said, you got to fight for that. Habitat, because if they try to take it away, it'll be the end of your native pheasants.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to keep it than get it back.
Oh yeah.
Or I don't know if that's the right wording, but it's going to be a lot harder to get it back if it gets taken away.
Ironically enough, Pennsylvania has historically never had prairie grasslands like you guys have. Okay. And even our pheasants were mostly tree lined. Okay. And when I say tree line, I don't mean like a barbed wire fence. I mean like, a bunch of cherry trees or oak trees that represented a boundary between two properties, but they might have been 10 yards wide and pretty thick. And that's where our pheasants and our rabbits typically get flushed out.
Yeah, that'd be some interesting hunting.
Yeah, it was
compared to here.
Completely different than what you guys have. I like big open prairie like that. Just it's the first time when I went out there last year, I never thought that I would feel the remoteness of being in a prairie like that. I mean, you guys have grown up with it, so you're sort of used to it. But when I think of remote, I think of 19,000 acres of state game lands that you can easily get lost on. But man, when you're all the way at the other end of this big grasslands and you look back, where's the truck? I can't see it because of the curvature of the earth,
You've you should go another state farther and
Right.
see
South
some
Dakota.
seriously
Yeah.
big open wide.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's on the list, man. Trust me, it's on the list.
Yeah, it's fast becoming my favorite place to go, and I'm not even talking for pheasants. I'm talking even farther west.
Yeah.
There's something about getting out in that wide open to where there's nothing even around you that, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Nope.
So-
If you're dying, you're dead, and that's for damn sure out there.
That's the truth. That is the truth. You fall in a hole and twist your ankle. I don't know, Nick. We might have to cut you up, get you out of there.
Mhm.
You guys can eat me.
Be
Quarter you up,
coyote.
get you out.
So from the eastern boundary of Iowa to pheasant territory in South Dakota is how many hours?
6 hours.
Yeah,
live right-
6 to 8 ish.
I live right on the Mississippi River in the eastern
Oh, yeah.
part. Like if I
It's only
pick-
6 hours?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
live
shoot.
on the western border, and to get where I like to go is 3 hours.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's like it takes me like 6 hours to get to Mitchell, South Dakota. From
Yeah.
my
Okay.
door.
You might not be able to make it in one day. You can try.
You might be sleeping the whole next one though.
Yeah, right.
Dog will be driving.
Yeah, I mean, as far as South Dakota, we had another good year out there as well. Shot my first sharp tail, getting it mounted by the famous Corey Carthers down here in Des Moines. A little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be, but
How are you getting it mounted?
So I'm gonna have him drumming.
You are. Okay.
Yep. And then we got a wagon wheel. And I want to hang it here, so it's gonna come down and angle like this with a wagon wheel. Weeds coming up, and I'll be drumming on the wagon wheel. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that'll be one. And then I almost did a pheasant this year too. I actually have one mounted in the room over here, but it doesn't hang on the wall, and I want to get one to hang on the wall over here as well. So, but in terms of South Dakota, the places that we have locked down, we saw plenty of damn birds. Jesus, we saw a
It's
lot of
too
birds
damn
up there too.
warm.
It was warm up there. I mean, 60
and dry.
degrees.
We did that golden hour hunt, and we waited, thinking that the birds were going to come into our field, and the amount of birds that were coming out of I shouldn't say standing corn, out of the pick cornfield that we could hear and see, and then they went to a different field. But the amount that were just out in a pick cornfield was just mind-boggling to me. In the middle end of November, that they're out there in that pick cornfield like that. It was just ridiculous. No cover anywhere other than the stocks. It was ridiculous.
They got their eyes.
Yep, 62 degrees, record year.
62. They don't need a whole lot of cover.
No,
Yeah,
Right.
they
yeah, in
don't.
that temperature. No.
No.
Nope, 2 days in a row is 62 degrees.
You know,
Yeah, I
we,
was.
we ended up meeting another new farmer out there that we gained access from as well, and we walked through cattails, and my
Oh, that shit.
God, I'm not even joking you. It was a mile-long cattail slough. That's not even shitting you. That's how long the fucker was, and whoa, did that wear a guy out walking through that?
Especially in 60 degrees.
But
It was all bent over because they had a big
Oh.
windstorm. Oh god.
But so it was colder the few days before we got there. So there was a pond, and Diesel ended up flushing a rooster right in front of me, and I debated whether or not to shoot it because it was going on over this pond. Well, I shot it, got it, and then Diesel, it was still alive, running on this ice, and he flew out there and grabbed it. And actually, Tyler had it on camera, but ended up accidentally losing it. But it was probably one of the best retrieves that I've been a part of with him. It was phenomenal across the pond, and ice, and
Slid
slipping
right
and
to it.
slipping and sliding and trying to get to it, and it was awesome.
What kind of dogs you guys have?
I run a black lab. Matt runs a black lab as well, and then Tyler has two golden retrievers.
I've got 2 wire hairs and a short hair.
Okay.
2 Vishlas for me.
Oh, cool.
Nate, you're gonna have to come up. My buddy, one of my best friends has got a Vizsla. We don't see him very often up here. You're just gonna have to come up and hunt with us, and
Yeah, that'd be
can have
fun.
your dogs. You 3 can have your dogs together. That'd be kind of cool.
20 years ago, I guided some people from, is it Rock Falls or Rock Rapids? What's up there?
Rock Falls.
Rock Falls. I stayed
It
in
might
Rock
be
Falls.
Rock Rapids though, too. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
but
there's
Geez,
one
say
of
Tim,
those.
I-
you don't even ask Chris. He probably knows.
Yeah, that's right.
I was gonna say I have a doctor in
But-
Rock Rapids that I go
What
to.
state?
Clear up in that corner, probably, gosh, it probably was 20 years ago. I took, because it was my first dog. I went up there and guided, and completely different hunting. We just, I mean, we found birds in road ditches and simple draws. It was so easy to hunt, so easy. No big
Oh yeah, it's
CRP or
probably
anything
Rock
like that.
Rapids. It's Rock
Yeah.
Rapids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Rock
Yep.
Valley's just to the south of there too. So
No, it's Rapids.
Who kno-
It's Rock
who knows?
Rapids. Yep. Yep.
yeah, you're up even farther north than I am. So
Where do you actually live, Tim?
oh, I can't tell you that. I have to kill you. No, I live right on the borders. Akron, Iowa is where I live.
Yep.
Yeah, I can actually from my house right here, I could almost shoot across the river.
Well, a lot of so I used to coach junior college football in Mason City, Iowa, and I recruited some kids from. He actually went to Akron Westfield, but he lived in South Dakota. So
Yep. Yeah, that's the town I live in. Yeah, that's the school district.
Nate, can you give us your coon story before we shut
Oh,
everything
you read
down?
that?
I did.
Yeah. I thought
That
that
shit
was
was
a
crazy.
So this was a unique experience to me for sure. And I figured it'd be unique to everybody, but I talked to a bunch of people in Southwest Iowa, and it's pretty common. So I went, some of you talked about hunting independently, right? Nick, you haven't done it a lot, right? And somebody else said they went out by themselves. I can't remember the last time I've gone out by myself without dogs and not shot a limit of birds. I mean, it's been probably 20 years. So it's just, so I like to find things that are a little bit more difficult and new to me, new landscapes, right? Chris, you mentioned it's more prairie here, but based on where you go in Iowa, like if I go northwest up to Tim's area, right, it's just flat open grasses, right? But if I go west, I've got some rolling hills. If I go southwest, I've got rolling hills and nice trees. And I like the variation. So I went southwest, and we were struggling to find numbers of birds. And Maverick, my 1-year-old Vizsla, had went on point in a draw, on the high side of a draw, picked corn around it. And at the time, birds were sitting pretty tight. It was windy and cold. Kick around, nothing. Eventually a growl. Was just getting over COVID. I couldn't smell anything, didn't know if it was a skunk. I start to pull out, right? But Maverick is a 1-year-old, and he's kind of a son of a bitch at times. And he persisted, and pretty soon a big boar coon jumped out, and the two of them just started fighting on the ground. And I go in, there's no opportunity to shoot the coon. I don't really want to shoot the coon, to be honest. They're not separating. So now I go in, I start kicking on them both, and the coon grabs a hold of my leg. I couldn't believe it, about shit myself. Grabbed a hold of my leg, had both of his arms around basically my right kneecap, and was biting my boot. I could feel the pressure through my boot on my foot. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is a little bit different than anticipated. So I'm shaking that damn thing off, and I could not get him off of me. Maverick comes back in, he jumps on him, grabs him by the back of the neck, and rips him off my leg. They're fighting on the ground again. I'm screaming at them and get them apart. And the coon now is chasing the dog. And now, so they're fighting again. And again, I separate them, and I grab Maverick. He wears a vest, a Silmar vest. I pulled him and kind of threw him off. And every time I'd pull the dog off and expose his hindquarters to the coon would attack. But if the dog was fronting, Maverick would have his way, and he'd pin the coon down, and he was having his way with the coon, but still getting bit, right?
What's the size difference between the coon and Maverick? Just to give a reference.
So Maverick probably weighs 50, 51 pounds, probably somewhere around there. He's probably maybe drops a little bit of weight during season.
Yeah.
He's pretty thin right now. But the coon, memory is pretty selective and certainly biased. It was a 70-pound coon, right?
Couldn't even lift my leg. It was so heavy.
No, but a friend reached out that he coon hunts, he traps and everything, and he's like, it wouldn't be of surprise if you can find big boar coons that are in rut, which I know nothing about coons, right?
Yep.
Said the coon is in rut. He said it could have been a 40-some pound coon, but anyways, So finally get him separated, pull my dog off, throw the dog, and I'm backing away. I'm now 10 to 15 yards away, and the coon actually charges me, runs at me. I have never experienced that. He had every opportunity to go away. All threats were away from him, and he chose to run at me. And I put the gun down on him. He actually grabbed the gun barrel, which I could not believe it. So then, you know,
You don't have a choice.
I shot him then, and
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm pro trapping. I understand and appreciate all the benefits of all the predators, even more so, Chris, than the predators you mentioned: eagles, hawks, all those, the nest robbers, right? Coons, those that are taking eggs out of the nest, are the most prolific with decimating our population. Still, I eat what I kill, and it bothered me a little bit. But at that point,
Hey, nobody said you couldn't eat it.
man.
Yeah.
Nobody said you couldn't eat
You
it.
could figure out a way to cook up that.
I've had it. I've had it barbecued. It's not like it's terrible.
Have you really?
Yeah,
No
it'd be better
kidding.
than
That
that. It'd be
sounds
better than that.
fucking
It'd be better
gross.
than that woodcock that Nick killed. And I'll tell you that right now.
Dude,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah,
No
it's
way.
actually not that bad. It's actually not.
Yeah.
That
We cooking no
Trash,
chicken.
trash panda. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. But the other thing, though, like you said with that raccoon, if your dog is in water with a raccoon,
They'll
get your
drown.
dog get
Yeah.
your dog out of the water as fast
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
That
Now,
coon
when it-
will that's what he's going to do. He's going to drown your dog, and he
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. One-on-one, he was having his way with the coon, but every time I tried to pull him off, then it was great. I mean, it's pretty
that's
smart. The
nuts.
coons are
Yeah.
smart, right? The hindquarters are exposed, and he would go after him.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, just try to get enough separation from him. And then I assumed we were going to go down. I mean, gravity, we were going down the hill away. His escape was to the north, completely away from us, and he chose to actually run after us. I was shocked. Absolutely.
Like you said, he was rutting and had all that testosterone going through his
Yeah,
body.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like old Nick and Tyler in college.
Shit.
You guys have
Also-
porcupines out there at all?
Not in
No,
Iowa.
No,
We
poor
don't.
Not in Iowa. Thank goodness.
Yeah, we have them here. I've had 4 dogs. All 3 of them, well, 3 out of the 4, except for this one, have all gotten into them in some form or another.
Man.
And
How is that pulling the quills out?
Oh, it's exciting, I bet. What do you mean, how is it?
if it's
Right,
10 or-
brutal.
If it's 10 or 12, it's no big deal. Okay, you can get them out yourself. Somebody holds a dog, you pull them out. The first dog I had, he was the Lab Chesapeake mix. He tipped the scales at like 125, and something about porcupines, twice he got into them. The second time was significantly worse. He picked it up and shook it twice. In the roof of his mouth, his tongue, he had 200 quills in him, you know.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. You take him to the vet, they knock him out. The vet spent an hour pulling quills.
Yeah,
What's
'cause
the
those things
dog's
will navigate.
recovery?
That guy, he had tolerance. I mean, when he picked it up and shook it the first time and then dropped it and then picked it up and shook it a second time, that gives you a sense of what kind of dog he was. But I mean, other than the anesthesia, they recover pretty quick. I would find them though, probably 5-6 weeks. I'd find one stuck up under his fur. I'd be
Yeah.
dead. All of a sudden, I'd catch my finger on one. It's like, oh, gotta go get the needle nose. And then he wasn't happy about that. But they do get infected over time if you don't find them and get them out. And they're
That's
hollow like a
crazy.
straw if you've ever seen them.
Mhm.
And the vet, he would cut a bunch and then pull the ones that he cut some more, pull the ones out. But I mean,
Huh,
yeah,
interesting.
it's a mess. It's a true mess. But
Yeah, there's a lot of them in Wisconsin where we go grouse hunting. There's a lot of
that's
them.
what somebody told. Yeah, similar terrain, the trees, the same kind of saplings. They chew the bark off. They actually were protected for the longest time here in Pennsylvania, and then recently they started a season. I don't know that many people really hunt them, but you're allowed to shoot, I think, 10 a year or something like that. They're more of a pest. They chew on the steps of the cabin and that sort of thing. So
Mhm.
wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we always thought the first year we went up there, I thought it was a bear and it was a damn porcupine out on the deck.
So have
Must've
you
been a
eaten a
big-ass
porcupine, Tim?
They just make a lot of noise. What's that?
Have you eaten a porcupine, Tim?
Yeah.
No, I will not, because
No.
if you watch that show alone,
Oh yeah,
people
one.
that are up there in
Yeah.
that show and they eat that, they get sick and they have to get out of there. I don't want no part of no
Oh,
porcupine.
All right, good.
Yeah, they carry some maggot or something, don't they? Or,
Yeah, I don't know what they carry, but I ain't eating it.
Figured most of it, whatever.
I've had skunk too, and that was
how
not
in the
good.
hell do you eat skunk?
It was. Have you ever been to a game potluck before? Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid,
Like a normal
this
one of
is-
like
God
fish
damn
and
it, this is
deer and
dating the hell out of me right here. But when I was a kid, the church would have a game potluck at the end of the year, and one old guy, I don't know, he had skunk laying around. He'd make it
Speaking of skunk,
barbecued.
we're in
Yeah.
South Dakota. We ran into a farmer
man.
who trapped a skunk on
Oh,
his,
yeah.
and he was right across the field we're hunting, and he was like pulling it with this stick, like trying not to get sprayed by it. And we're like, "Do you want help?" and whatnot. So we had high power rifles with us in case we saw some dogs running, some coyotes. So we had Bob Lee Swagger with us. My sister's boyfriend's got Creedmoor that he hand built and a silencer on it and fucking night scope and all this shit on this damn thing. And he walks, I don't know how far he walked away. He walked like 100 yards away to shoot it, and it was right in front of us. So the farmer was very appreciative. That's how you
Yes,
get
he
land.
was.
Yeah, we did. He ended
We
up
did. He
having
let us hunt.
and he ended up having a little bowl and behind his
Yeah.
plate.
They
Yeah,
have
I would-
Future podcast topic. What animals has Tim not eaten?
no
Yes.
kidding.
I had a sage grouse that I don't really would care to eat. I don't even know if I'd want to go back out and hunt them again because it was pretty bad.
Have you had a sharp tail?
Oh yeah, I love sharptail.
Or good?
So
Bird
how do
answer.
you clean it just like a pheasant? Because I cleaned the sharp tail that we shot, and
Yeah.
I tried to step on its wings and then pull it up, and then it ended up either I cut something or something, and it stunk so bad. I actually had to go take a shower. It stunk so bad, it leaked on me.
Oh yeah, you got into his guts or something then.
I
Yeah.
don't know what it was. but it was-
All I do with those is I just breast them out and then take the legs. Did you notice the legs at all? Did you look at the legs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're white and the breast meat's dark.
Yep,
Wow.
Fly more than they run.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
truth.
that's for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of the one that I shot out there, the sharp tail, I'm pretty sure I only hit it with one BB because it like glided down and landed, and I thought, oh, it's probably gonna be moving or something. Well, that was dead.
Yeah, they
Like
don't.
Hey.
run.
it like didn't go and fall. It like just glided, and we kind of knew I hit it, and then it just. I was like, oh, still
And the
alive.
dog didn't retrieve, so it was nice
No,
and good condition.
The dog did retrieve it, but it didn't bring it far because we ran over there looking for it because there was a lot of shooting going on. Because
And she
everybody was
has
so
a super soft mouth, so
everybody was so
Yeah, good.
excited that we ran into them because we didn't where we were at. They're not supposed to be, and so everybody
many-
yeah.
shooting to
How
try
many
to
were
get
in the
one.
how many were in the flock? How many were in the covey?
I think 10
Oh,
to 12 at least,
yeah.
wasn't there?
12 probably. Easy.
Yeah.
Gosh, you got close to them too. That's pretty impressive.
Well,
That
at
late
the
in
end,
the year.
none of us knew. Like when they got up, we all kind of looked at each other like, "Were those Sharpies?"
I was actually yelling that Hun,
yeah.
the way they had the white underneath the wings, but they started teetering around like how Hungarian partridge fly. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're Huns.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
interesting.
It wasn't
They're
until the
different.
it wasn't until the second place where we ran into them west, where we planned on going to find them, where we heard them laugh, where they were laughing when they actually flew, and then you're like, oh yeah, those are Sharpies.
Yeah.
Cool.
See, I'd rather go after them and then hunt pheasant late. That's what I'd rather do.
Right? It was neat. It was a fun experience, that's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about predators and stuff, though, up here in Northeast Iowa, we have bobcats, but like growing up, we never had bobcats around here. And today at work, yesterday and today, we had to go release bobcat out of trap, same spot. So I don't know if they're mating right now, where the male smelt where the female was the night before or whatever. But 2 days in a row, bobcat, which is unheard of around here.
Huh.
So
That's crazy.
DNR officer says we're going to end up hopefully start at least letting guys keep. We have no season on them right now, so hopefully we can start letting trappers keep at least one a year or two a year or something. That'd be pretty nice.
That's
Yeah,
how
we-
they started here. There was, I think the permit was by drawing and you were only allowed one per year. Now I don't think you need, there's no drawing, but you still need a permit. And I think it's only one or two per year. Look.
Yeah, our county, Plymouth County, they just opened it this year. You can harvest one this year.
Just one.
Yeah, just one one per person or
Yeah.
one per license or whatever.
Yeah, south of us, they let us, Delaware County, Jackson County, you can have a bobcat, but up here you can't. So hopefully next year they let us start at least keeping one.
It'll happen.
Good.
Yeah, we got enough predators, that's for certain.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But well, guys, we've got a little over an hour, so definitely appreciate everybody coming on and talking about their season, giving a rundown. Appreciate the stories. Definitely appreciate everybody showing up to these power hours. We enjoy them. Just getting everybody together to talk bird hunting and dogs and whatnot. So again, we appreciate it. We'll probably, I think we're going to try to do maybe once a month, starting back up in the off season, just to get everybody together and try to have a good time. So virtually. So, but again, thank you. Have a good night. See
Yep.
you guys
Thanks,
next
guys.
Good seeing you
Thanks
guys.
for having me.
Yep, bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
You guys.